Hey everybody, Arnaldo here, broadcasting from Fidelios frequency. Welcome to my channel. As you probably noticed from the title of this video, today we'll be showcasing some upcoming releases for Record Store Day. Record Store Day is almost upon us. It's coming this Saturday, April 18th, and I have a bunch of releases that I'd like to show you. I'll do an unboxing. I'll talk briefly about them. Releases that are provided by BMG and Dark Horse Records. So hang tight, and I'll be right back. The first album I would like to start off with celebrates its 25th anniversary this year. It was released in 2001. The second studio album by Joe Strummer and his band at the time called the Mescaleros. The name of the album is Global Go-Go. As the title suggests, it is inspired by world music. I think there's a credit in the album that says inspired by Nina Simone. Was dedicated to Joey Ramone. Features a couple notable musicians on the album on a few tracks. Roger Daltrey provides vocals on the title track, and Pete Townsend, I don't think he's credited, but is on the closing track, the 18-minute long Minstrel Boy, an instrumental Irish traditional, which some of you may be familiar with because it was also used in the movie Black Hawk Down by Ridley Scott. The album was already re-released on a different Record Store Day. I think it was 2010. This version is slightly different, released on Dark Horse and on colored splatter vinyl, which I'll show you now right after I show you the artwork, gatefold cover. And here's the back. Show you the inner sleeves. I think they faithfully replicate the originals. Is here. I have to show you the hype sticker. And on splatter vinyl. They're both the same, so I'll just show you one of them. And does not come in polyline sleeve, which I re-sleeved, so this is pretty much what they look like. And I've listened to them flat, pretty well pressed. I believe they are pressed at GZ or Precision here in the United States. So for Clash fans, don't miss out this April 18th for Joe Strummer and the Mescaleros Global Go-Go 25th anniversary. The next album I was totally unaware of, and I am glad that I got a chance to learn about him and get my hands on a copy of one of these records. And it's an artist that is not very well known. A lot of other musicians have covered his music, and his name is Jackson C. Frank. This is his one and only studio album released during his lifetime. Sad story, the one of Jackson Frank, suffered from depression and schizophrenia and died homeless of pneumonia and cardiac arrest. The whole story of Jackson C. Frank is told in the on an essay, almost like a mini biography, on a insert that I'll show you shortly. But briefly about the album, it was released in 1965, produced by Paul Simon. Paul Simon was also influenced by his songwriting, by his guitar skills, great finger picking. I would say it's folk music. If you like Nick Drake, this is before Nick Drake, so it's pretty much in the same vein of music. Jackson C. Frank influenced, like I said earlier, Paul Simon, Bert Jansch, Nick Drake himself. His songs were covered by many artists, starting from Paul Simon, Nick Drake, Counting Crows, John Mayer. I highly recommend that if you like folk music, you give this album a listen and go out on Record Store Day, seek it out. It's a limited run, at least for now, but originally released on Columbia, now on BMG. So let me show you the record. Gatefold. Here's the inside of the gatefold, the rear cover. This album, as the hype sticker says, has 6 bonus tracks that were not available on the original album. The insert that I highly recommend you read the notes, the biography that tells the story of Jackson C. Frank. And the vinyl. We have polyline sleeves. Yay. Definitely needed because it is a quiet album. It's basically folk, just vocals and acoustic guitar, and it's on black vinyl. Excellent pressing. I listened to it. It's very quiet. I have nothing to compare it to, so I can't really say if it's better or worse than previous editions. But I highly recommend this on Record Store Day. Jackson C. Frank, self-titled album. The next release is a box set, and it is a companion box set, almost similar box set to the one that was released for Black Friday, Record Store Day in 2025. That box set collected the 12-inch singles from the album Copper Blue. You probably guessed it. I'm talking about Sugar, the band founded by Bob Mould. And this Record Store Day sees the release of another box set collecting 3 of the 12-inch singles from the album File Under Easy Listening. It's called File Under Easy Listening, the Singles Collection. The singles were released between 94 and 95. Some of them never before on 12-inch single. I think only the first one, Your Favorite Thing, was officially released as a 12-inch single. The others were released on as CD singles, and I think the second one, Believe What You're Saying, it was released as a 12-inch promo. So very good that they collected them all in one box set. So I guess there's not much else to say other than show you the contents of the box. Starting off with the hype sticker and the rear of the box set. And now let me show you the 3 12-inch singles that are included. The first one is Your Favorite Thing, with the original B-sides, Mind is an Island, Frustration, and You Tell Me, the TV mix. As you can see from the back here. No polyline sleeves, but they are featured on color vinyl. The second one, called Believe What You're Saying, with the B-sides Going Home, In the Eyes of My Friends, and You Tell Me. Here's the rear. A green, translucent, opaque vinyl. And the third one is G Angel, with the B-sides After All the Roads Have Led to Nowhere, Explode and Make Up, and The Slim. The last 3 were all recorded live in Minneapolis, as the notes on the cover indicate, on a orange translucent vinyl. So all you Sugar fans out there, don't forget this Saturday to grab the singles collection from File Under Easy Listening by Sugar. The next album is by an artist that, in all honesty, I knew nothing about up until a few months ago. His name is R. Carlos Nakai. I think the R stands for Robert. And the name of the album that is being released on Record Store Day is called Canyon Trilogy. A little bit about R. Carlos Nakai, as you could see from the picture. He's a flutist, and more precisely, a Native American flutist, I think born from Phoenix, Arizona. R. Carlos Nakai has been making music for, I guess, about 40 years, because this album came out in 1989. He was signed to Canyon Records, for which he released about over 30 albums, selling in total over 3.5 million copies. This album alone sold 1 million copies. It's probably his most popular album to date. And he is an artist that has been nominated within his genre multiple times for a Grammy. So niche genre, but an accomplished musician in his own genre, which is You want to call it maybe folk, but I would say it's closer to new age music. It is released on Dark Horse Records, and there is in the insert um, an essay by Danny Harrison himself. And the reason why he wanted to release this album, because it meant a great deal to him. It helped him a lot during a very difficult personal time, dark time. And he found it very inspiring and very, very peaceful. I listened to this and I could totally understand where Danny's coming from. You play this record and it's flute music, very quiet music. Maybe some will say it's kind of like background music, but it is for sure very calming, very soothing. Probably not for everyone, but for people who enjoy the new age genre and want to get into some flute music, definitely recommend this R. Carlos Nakai Canyon Trilogy. Let me show you the inside, the unboxing of the packaging. The hype sticker tells us that this is being released for the very first time on vinyl through Dark Horse Records. A little bit of hype about R. Carlos's Nakai's accomplishments, and the packaging, the front, the back, very sparse, but the inside, picture of the artist and some notes, and the insert that I was telling you about, the Dark Horse logo, and the short essay by Danny Harrison. It's a double album. I'll only show you one of them because they're identical. The Dark Horse inner sleeves, the classic label by Dark Horse. The album is very well pressed. In some instances, I did hear a little bit of crackle, but it's a very, very quiet album. So I would say that they did overall a very good job. So coming to you from Dark Horse Records, this record store day, R. Carlos Nakai Canyon Trilogy. We've already covered a lot of genres over the course of these releases that I've showed you: world music, rock, folk, new age, and now we'll talk about country music. Although this artist is not necessarily a country artist. I'm talking about Leon Russell, and this Saturday we will see the release of his country album, first time on vinyl, The Best of Hank Wilson. Leon Russell during his career explored many genres, starting from rock, bluegrass, gospel, blues, rock blues, R&B, and on this album, country. He was inspired during a road trip, driving back to his home, long trip, car trip. He brought with him a bunch of country tapes to listen along the ride, and he was inspired to make a country album. The first album, I think it was called Volume 1, Hank Wilson Volume 1, and it was released in 1973. Followed by, I think, Volume 2 in 1984. This album collects the best of both and maybe some other additional tracks that were under the Hank Wilson, let's call him his alter ego or his fictional musician character, but it's no other than Leon Russell. So this also is a double album, and let me show you the packaging. Nicely done. Great picture of Leon Russell. And the back. Forgot to show you the hype sticker. It's from Dark Horse Records as well. This album also comes with the Dark Horse logo inner sleeves, but this time I feel that the cardstock is much thicker than the ones that we saw on the R. Carlos Nakai, and the album pressed on black vinyl with the Dark Horse labels. I won't show you both of them because they are identical. So for the first time on vinyl, The Best of Hank Wilson by Leon Russell. And a genre that I bet you wouldn't think we would be talking about in this video is Hindu devotional chants and songs, which are featured on the next release called Radha Krishna Temple, produced by George Harrison, released on Apple Records, introduced, of course, by George Harrison in 1971. This album hasn't been in print on vinyl since 1993, so a welcome return on vinyl for this record store day. And you probably guessed it, very Indian inspired, Hindu chants, prayers, Sanskrit prayers, two of the most important ones, the Hare Krishna mantra, as well as the opening chant, which is Govinda. So not much more for me to add other than show you the packaging of the record. Lovely recreation of the original cover. The inner with all the notes, the original notes, and the rear cover. The hype sticker featuring, of course, the Dark Horse logo, as well as the inner sleeves, the same that we saw in the other releases. And this pressing is on orange vinyl, flat and quiet, well pressed. So Radha Krishna Temple out next Saturday on Record Store Day. So the last two albums I'll be featuring together because they are by the same artist, and continuing in the tradition of the releases by this artist on Zoetrope vinyl. For the past 3 record store days, we've seen releases by George Harrison, and this coming Saturday we have 2 more. The first one is Dark Horse, and the second one is the album Extra Texture. They're both 50th anniversaries, although I think they're a bit late because Dark Horse came out in 1974. I think Dark Horse was his 5th album, and Extra Texture was George Harrison's 6th album and came out in 1975. So we're a few years late of commemorating the 50th anniversary. For those of you that follow my channel, you'll see a full unboxing of the Zoetropes and how actually they work, but I'd like to show you at least what's in the packaging, the physical packaging. So Dark Horse, the front and the back with the official album cover of Dark Horse. It comes with the usual leaflet with the instructions on how to view the Zoetrope vinyl, which don't always work for me when I use these instructions with my iPhone. I have better success with the app called Illumiscope, so I encourage you to download the free app if you want to make a video or see the full effect of the Zoetrope. Dark Horse also comes with the booklet that features the original artwork, I believe, from the original release. And it has all the credits as well as the pictures and the lyrics. And here's George Harrison also on the rear. And now let me show you the Zoetrope, which is essentially a picture disc. And I think I like this side better than the first side I showed you. I don't have originals of these 2 albums to compare to, but it wouldn't be a fair comparison because they are picture discs, and although the quality of picture discs has improved significantly, they still have that characteristic sound that you hear on the lead-in groove and the lead-out groove, but once the music starts, you don't notice it as much. And now let me show you Extra Texture. The rear cover is actually the original front cover. This one also comes with a booklet, but a smaller one, only a 4-page fold-out booklet. Pictures of George. And let me show you the Zoetrope disc. Again, for the full effect, please check out my channel with the 2 full unboxings of these releases and the effect of the Zoetrope. So are these releases on your record store day list for this upcoming Saturday? If not, let me know what you will be picking up instead. Please feel free to like and share this video with others that you may think might be interested in these releases. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It is still free and always will be. Most importantly, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.